What's up, everybody? It's Whiskey in the Six. I'm Rob. Third installment of American Whiskey and Bourbon Month. Wild Turkey Rare Breed. So this one is bottled at 58.4%, 116.8 proof. I've already poured it out because I find that this one can benefit from opening up a little bit. The mash bill for Wild Turkey, from the research that I've done, is pretty much the same for all their bourbons. The only difference is they move their whiskeys around, the barrels around the warehouse to give them a different taste. Each portion of the warehouse allows the wood to interact differently because of certain humidities and stuff like that. There's a lot of different factors. When it's really humid, the wood expands. When it cools down, the wood shrinks, and this interaction causes differences in the whiskey. Okay, more exposure to the whiskey, to the wood. So this one is 75% corn, 13% rye, and 12% barley. All right, that I found on a couple different websites actually, but that could be wrong. I'm not 100% sure. As far as I know, as far as some of the research done and some of the websites that I've read, that's the mash bill. Okay, maybe that's an older mash bill, and I tried everywhere to find the mash bill for Wild Turkey, so I'm hoping that's the correct one. If you know better, please write it in the comments below, but like I said, 75 corn, 13 rye, and 12 barley. Alright, gonna nose it, taste it blind, without water, and then I'm gonna add some water and see if anything changes. Okay, super sweet nose. I wanna say there's like a berry fruitiness to it. Some sort of berry. A little bit of spice. Definitely a grassy note. With these cast strength bourbons, I find, or barrel proof bourbons, I find they tend to be a little bit grassy on the nose anyway. Not as much vanilla as there is on the Booker. Booker has a ton of vanilla on the nose. I actually didn't mention it in my video of Booker that I did previous to this one, just because it's so known for its vanilla that I didn't want to state the obvious. But this one doesn't have it as much. There is a touch, very, very small amount. Okay, on the palate. The best feature of this one is the viscosity and the smoothness on the palate. It's super smooth for 58.4%. It's got a really, really nice finish. I would say that you actually don't even need to add water to this one. That berry fruitiness definitely continues on through the palate. Not too much char again with this one. You're not picking up any smoke or anything like that. Super syrupy feel and taste. It's really, really sweet. Say like a caramel corn, like a caramel corn popcorn. That's what I'm tasting here. Candy sweetness. I gave this one about 15 to 20 minutes to open up. And I find with the barrel proof whiskeys, they definitely benefit from sitting in the glass for a little bit, just breathing a little bit, opening up. The first time I tried this, I didn't give it as long to open up, and I found that it was a little hotter. Right now, I feel like I don't need to add any water to this, but I'm going to, just to see if it changes at all. Just a drop. That probably brought it to a couple percent lower, not too much. Maybe 50% at its lowest. Probably hear my son upstairs. Definitely a whole lot sweeter, actually. Caramel apple, I got a little bit on that one. Still getting that huge portion of like I said, caramel popcorn on the palate. This one's an A for me for sure. Borderline A+. I would say it's really close to an A+. I feel like the nose needs to be a bit better in order for it to be an A+. That's how I kind of mark. Palate is the biggest portion of the mark for me because obviously taste is king. We want our whiskey to taste good, that's why we drink it to begin with. But whenever I'm drinking a whiskey, I hope that it smells good as well because the nose is very important to me. This one smells nice, but it's definitely not the best nosing bourbon I've ever had. It's an 89, so like an A, but as close to a 90 as you can get without having the best nose. So if this just improved the nose a little bit, it would be probably a mid-90 mark to me, but the palate is exceptional. Really nice palate. Okay, so price. This one is $60 at the LCBO in Ontario. I know it's around $50 American depending on where you buy it. So $60 Canadian is actually not too bad a price. This one's definitely worth the price. I have this bottle on loan to me from a buddy, my buddy Mike. He's not affiliated at all with Wild Turkey. He's just a big bourbon fan. So he lent this bottle to me along with the Bookers, and both of them are outstanding. He has great taste in bourbon. This one is probably a notch better than the Bookers in my opinion. All right, so that's an 89, an A in my books. Really nice whiskey, really sweet, lots of flavor, very full, great viscosity, very syrupy. Next up, I'm gonna be doing Jim Beam Black Extra Aged. All right, that's probably gonna be coming up a little sooner. I probably will post this video very soon. So in the next day or two, if not, next day or two. I posted my Bookers video on Sunday. Normally I post on Monday and Friday. Those are my 2 days that I always tend to put out videos. But this month, because of the amount of bourbon and American whiskey that I have to share with you guys, I'm going to be doing a lot more. I'm going to probably be doing 3 to 4 sometimes a week. All right, so this will come out earlier, and the Jim Beam will probably come out this Friday. Okay, so really nice whiskey. I highly recommend you pick it up. I'm definitely gonna go pick up a bottle. Really good. Wild Turkey Rare Breed. Like I said, Jim Beam's next. I have Jack Daniel's Single Barrel, which I'm gonna be doing a different video for, not just a review, but I'm gonna talk about this in a different way. I don't want to spoil anything just now. I have Maker's Mark, I have Maker's 46, and I have coming up with Bubba and the Beard. I said I wasn't going to give it away, but I'm going to give it away. We're going to be reviewing the Stag Junior. They gave me this whole thing to sample. I've already taken probably two and a half drinks out of it. There's enough in here for maybe another 2. Really nice bourbon. Stag Junior, that'll be coming up shortly as well. And there's a couple other surprises coming up in the near future. Wild Turkey Rare Breed, really nice stuff. If you haven't already, check out my Facebook, my Instagram, and Twitter. You guys can just type in Whiskey in the Six and they'll pop up. I also have a Patreon if you want to check that out. If you're watching for the first time, please subscribe, and thank you to all my subscribers. You guys are awesome.